It probably wouldn't be Pocket Gamer if we didn't talk about two things while we're here. AI, which is coming, VR, which is here, and really we should be feeling that. And Adam Cain, you are owner of Pixel Party VR Limited.
Hi.
So you've got it in the name that it's all about VR.
Yep.
Now the question is, where are we with VR? Because you are focused on bringing this to more publishers.
Yeah, the VR market's just opening up much more now. As I said, now that Meta have taken over from Oculus and they bought the Oculus IP and creating things like the 3S headset and making it much more available on market, a little bit cheaper a headset, a little bit more reduced in terms of the pixel density, etc. But we're finding that a lot more people are then buying those headsets for Christmas, etc., which is really great. And then we have sort of moved into what's called free roam VR. So it's VR in a larger space, either 4.5 meters by 4.5 meters, right up the way to 9 meters by 6 meters. And you can play with multiple people in the same area. So whereas, a lot of VR is, fixed situation, singular sort of experience where they're moving around with the controller, etc., we're allowing people to all work and do a team building sort of exercise or playing together in families. So 6 players. We have, at the moment, 8 different games available, and then we're just looking for more and more IP that we can bring onto our platform.
So what does that IP have to look like? Because there are a lot of publishers who want to get more mileage out of their game IP. Not everything is going to be sort of VR ready or VI enabled. It's not going to work with everything. So what do you look for in IP?
Something that's really engaging, something that moves straight into being able to work together as a team building exercise. And actually, a lot of VR titles go for, FPS shooters, zombies or shooting things, etc. What we're actually looking for is a lot more sort of games that families can have and have fun together. One of our games that we have is a game called Cooked Up, where people cook burgers in a restaurant. I think it's so much more fun, so much more engaging, so much more families are interested in doing that. They want to move their kids away from playing, Fortnite, Call of Duty, etc., and have a lot more fun together. So it's not just about the standardized, shoot zombies or, defend certain areas, etc. It's a lot more about, is it really engaging for everyone? Does it allow people to communicate together and have that team building exercise and things like that, really? So it's really interesting to see a lot of the games here which are not just concentrating on one certain area. It's a lot more fun and family orientated and investing.
Well, that's because it's become entertainment, right? And when you think about potentially brand inventory and you want to have a game that you can associate your brand with, then shooter, I get it. But there's more to that. And if you want to have a family approach, yeah, I could see it. Making burgers, loving pies might be one. Who knows, right? They're out there. You can talk to them. And these are the types of games that bring people together. But it's Pocket Gamers. So what, if anything, here is the mobile element to this?
Oh, I've seen some really interesting VR games where singular experiences where someone has a VR headset, but they're connecting and the other player is paying via mobile, which is really interesting. There's a great game here, which is a golf game. Someone's playing golf, but on the mobile device, people are putting things in the way of the golfer. So interacting in multiple different channels and multiple different ways is something that I think people need to get more and more involved in. Now everyone has a mobile device, so why aren't we connecting those things and making those things more available? I think it's a really, really interesting way to go for the market.
Oh yeah, I'm starting to think that through. You could interact with mobile. As you said, put obstacles in there. There's like a Pokemon thing here. I can hide something, make it super hard to find. So yeah, there's more interaction there. So I have to ask you, because it is a business, it's a games business. Where's the monetization in this? Where is it? Is it a premium price that gets people in, or what is it? How you're working with publishers to make certain they're making money on their IP?
Yeah, so we usually provide a percentage of sales, or we purchase the game to keep hold of that IP. On the end for us, where it's the B2C side, we work on sort of a credit-based system. So for every game played by a person that goes to the soft play, we charge 1 credit. So they purchase credits from us, and then they can get access to those games. So we do it with multiple different ways with the IP. It can either be based upon how many of those credits have sold for that game, they will get a percentage, or we can flat rate buy that IP from them as well.
I'm also hearing in there that you could also be a really good fit with Rewarded.
Yeah.
As UA as well as loyalty. So you have loyalty programs and bringing people into the game. You know, I could win something else somewhere else and get as that a perk to come into this great experience.
Yeah, it's like the old-fashioned arcades. Arcades are now moving away from, paying for those arcades. They're getting tokens that then they can exchange for items behind the till. That's a really, really fantastic idea to get people more involved. It's really great.
You got an energy, Adam, I have to say, and you're making me think like, oh, this would be fun. Why don't we go back in some room here and do something fun rather than be out here just talking above the noise. Tell me about yourself. What's your backstory, Adam? What brings you in here? You look to me like somebody who's living the dream here.
Games have been my life since my father bought me my first Amiga 500 and I played Monkey Island on it. So,
wow.
I'm telling my age now at 40 years, but so gaming's always been something that I've been interested in. My background's business development, and I sort of fell into the gaming from that, just through my love of being involved in games and then wanting to bring something to the market. So that I've got 2 small kids, 8 and 6, and I want them to be able to not just sit there, go to an event where we can go together, where my wife actually wants to play games and be involved in things like that. So that's been my background. That's where I've come from. And I think events like this are so fantastic, like seeing all these developers that are working hard to create their own unique ideas and direction. And there's so many different people that are doing that here that it's just, you can't help but get excited when you come here to see all these things come in, to have an opportunity to speak to the guys and understand the market and the direction. This is why people should be coming to this sort of thing, and people should really get involved and have a look at what's going on in the market.
That is great, Adam. And I'd like to add, I didn't ask for that. I won't say your check's in the mail, but that sums it up beautifully. And I'm so glad you reached out. We did it on social, so it's real. I said, hey, I'm doing interviews. And you said you had something to share, a story to tell. You weren't exaggerating. Thanks so much, Adam.
Thank you so much. Enjoyed it. It's been absolutely fantastic and really, really great to meet you.
You're on.
Thank you.
Let's continue it.
Thank you.
This show is all about how to do your job better, how to make an amazing game, how to market it, and you have a say. So if you have a story or know someone we need to shine a light on, then we would love to hear from you.
We want to hear from you. We want to reflect the reality of the mobile games market in all its wonderful complexity and strangeness. So if you have any suggestions for us, if you have any feedback for us, you can always get in touch. You can email us at podcast@pocketgamer.biz. You can find us on Twitter @PGBiz, and you can reach out to us through the pocketgamer.biz website. If you're interested in listening to all of our podcasts, you can find them at pocketgamer.biz/podcast, and we would love to hear your thoughts on future shows.
And we've got you covered on all the major platforms, so subscribe to the audio podcast, as Brian said. Look for us on YouTube. If you want to read it, hey, you can do that too, because we have a companion post for you as well on the pocketgamer.biz website.
Tune in again for the next edition of the pocketgamer.biz podcast, and we look forward to speaking to you in the near future. Until then, I'm Brian Baglow.
I'm Peggy Anne Salz, and that's a wrap until next week.